Star Trek Picard Season 3 Episode 7 titled Dominion, where we get the origin and cause of the evolved changeling's ability to act as this galactic apex predator species. Additionally, we are introduced to the new Positronic data acquired from the Starfleet Black Site facility of Daystrom Station. Captain Vadic and the Shrike are lured into a boarding action by Picard and crew, who have orchestrated a clever trap to capture the shapeshifter leader inside a biogenic containment field on the USS Titan itself. Stalling for time, captured Vadic reveals the changeling's mutation origins to Admiral Picard and Dr. Crusher, while she is isolated by the surrounding force field after springing the trap. While the rest of the Titan crew defend the ship from the invading changeling Skeletors by quarantining them to designated sections with additional containment fields. During the Dominion War, Vadic was one of 9 changeling prisoners of Starfleet detained and held in secret at Daystrom Station. Federation Intelligence Operating in conjunction with Section 31 initiated Project Proteus to perform classified medical experiments upon the changeling's form and genetic physiology. Eventually, after prolonged and agonizing research procedures, Starfleet scientists and medical personnel were able to weaponize the changeling's liquid form into undetectable infiltration units, perfectly replicating the genetic composition and internal organs that of any species. These new apex shapeshifters would be utilized by Section 31 to steer and influence galactic political policies and outcomes in a favorable direction in line with Federation interests. Genetically modified changelings, GMC built tough. The Vadic shapeshifter POW was able to outsmart and break free of the failsafe security protocols, eliminating and replicating the body of her captive and inhumane researcher, proceeding to set free all of the fellow changeling prisoners. This highly classified weapons facility sure gets broken into quite a lot. Maybe they should move it to like a random asteroid or bury it beneath an ice moon? However, this new apex predator does have a counterbalancing downside. These changelings can no longer merge with the Great Link and undergo a half-lifespan of 100 years. But hold on, they have another advantage that tips the scale back towards the super mode side. They can merge with other shapeshifters and share their new genetic alterations to other radical members of the Great Link who convey their fanatical anti-Federation point of view by merging together as individuals apart from the combined group. These new recruits willingly sever their connection to be foot soldiers in this new clandestine proxy war against Starfleet and the Federation puppeteers, from a certain point of view, that is. Over a 30-year time span, the mutant changeling cell vastly expanded into a large faction whose sole purpose was to unleash upon Starfleet what Section 31 intended to utilize as its new creation upon other galactic powers in the pursuit of Federation security. This is what I like to coin the phrase of the neutral zone of good storytelling, depicting both sides as not completely wrong, and then again not exactly right or correct either. You can see from Starfleet's point of view, and you can also equally see from the rogue changeling's point of view. Now, this multi-decade plan is about to spurt into fruition at Federation Frontier Day behind the rally cry of Starfleet genocide declining to offer the cure for the metagenic virus to the Dominion, but instead one of their own changelings, Odo, had to take matters into his own hands, stealing the changeling cure and delivering it himself with the help of a few friends who were solids, by the way, Captain Vadic. I bet that's not in your historical records also. Touché. The enhanced changeling's leader, or the spooky talking head, likely is a traditional changeling operating indirectly or detached from the Great Link, as he makes abundantly clear on multiple occasions that Vadic and her Skeletors are expendable and almost referred to as a different species. Which now leads us to Jack Crusher and his unknown Apex Pyramid Throne ability. This episode's new reveal is that Jack establishes a psychic link with Ensign Crusher, directing her combat moves through a remote connection, enabling Sydney to fight off a Skeletor changeling. Jack also was referred to as a solid by the Mega Skeletor, possibly dispelling the theory that Jack was some kind of unknown changeling. Although Picard and gang did discover the Changelings' ploy of stealing the Admiral's human remains once again from that super secure Daystrom Station, and then combining it with Jack's blood to recreate a doppelganger Picard during Frontier Day for dubious shenanigans, for gathering all of Starfleet in Sector 001 around the Sol system during the Frontier Day celebrations. New Positronic data lore, on the other hand, is on another tier-level bag of a cluster, or could we say in one word, malfunction. This new synthetic body more or less is a dysfunctional combination between Data and Lore's consciousness and personality matrix in a single artificial brain similar to that of Picard. So could Data and Picard be considered relatives now? Holy macaroni, Picard, your family tree is branching out to franchise levels of expansion. Data has trouble suppressing Lore's personality, coupled with the emotional outbursts and very dry sarcasm that I had to admit made me laugh. Picard, nor am I completely control of my revulsion for your ancient face. Basically, to make a long story short, Lore's side of the Positronic brain gets the upper hand, sabotages Picard and crew's well-executed capture of Captain Vadic and her Skeletors, causes a bunch of chaos, disables the containment fields, inevitably leading to Vadic and her Changelings seizing control of the Titan. Lore, you rascal. Other appearances as Captain or high-ranking Officer Tuvok on the Titan's view screen comm channel, who fails 7 of 9's trick Changeling questions. And I have to admit that Tuvok Changeling persona was a tad bit creepy and unsettling. I really hope the real Tuvok used some Vulcan logic and unloaded a bunch of statistic paradoxing his way to safety. And of course, Will Riker, oh my god, what happened to your face? Also replicated by the creepy Changeling. If that's Will's face after being tortured by Vadic, his outcome could be a 50-50 coin flip. Come on, Will Riker, you old salty dog, bro. You can tough through your way out of another pinch. So Jack Crusher in his Terminator modes, and now his psychic telepathy with Sidney LaForge, his Red Vine Door Apocalyptic's Apex powers. So what do you think they are all about? Honestly, I have no clue. I mean, I thought the Changelings were Borg hybrids. Then I thought the Great Link somehow allied with Species 8472, and both turns out to be big nothing burgers, but it's always fun to speculate. So what do you all think? Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell notifications for future Picard episodes, and check out the channel's content for numerous sci-fi franchise video expeditions. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember to hit engage and influence galactic political policies and outcomes in a favorable